Hey guys, Stacy here with Stacy D Pilates. I wanted to put up a video about some hip work, basic mat hip work that I love to give clients as, again, some homework. Hip work is super important because we tend to be weak in our hips since we don't move laterally in our day-to-day life, so we're not moving side to side all the time. But what's so amazing about it is that most people are weak here, and with that weakness comes a lot of problems in low back pain and some sciatic. And I've seen over the years when I'm working and rehabbing clients who are in really bad pain, it's the hip training that just starts to get them back into good graces with their body and let them be supported from the hips, which support your pelvis and support your gait. So I love these series. I'm just gonna give you what I really want you to focus on is the form of this work. Don't worry so much about the reps, how many you do, worry about what I'm gonna give you form-wise. So here we go. So I'm gonna start on a mat. We're gonna start with the clam series. When you're laying on your side, it's very easy to be out of alignment because we're laying on our side and it's not normal to do any kind of work on our side. So usually we're in bed and just chilling out, but it's not a chill position whatsoever. So here's your options for the head. You can rest the head down on your forearm if you like. You can also hold the head in your hand, which is fine, I don't love that. Or you can use a pillow, like a foam roller or one of the slow-mo balls, or just a bunch of nice sturdy towels to support your head. You want the head in line with the spine as best as possible. So the next thing you're gonna want is you want a straight neutral spine, just like I always talk about. So I wanna make sure my pelvis is centered. I love to take my forearm and put it behind my back. If you have healthy shoulders and that doesn't bother you, that will tell me that my pelvis or my ilium in the back, my posterior side, is flat. I don't want to roll out of it or roll forward. I also, as you can see, have space underneath my abdomen. So my bottom oblique is trying to lift off the mat. If you can, great. If not, just attempt that lift or even put like a towel as a prop there. And then last but not least, I'm keeping my rib in line with my hip as best as possible. What will naturally when it happens, you'll just want to relax, let the hip hike, this whole line shortens and sags. So this is how you want to be working it. Now with this clam series, don't worry about how far you go open and closed, okay? So you're gonna inhale, open up the legs, and then close. I'm keeping my feet together. I'm just opening up my top leg, keeping a little pressure into my bottom leg, into the mat for stabilization. You can also keep your hand here if you need to. Again, it doesn't take a lot, all right? So I'm gonna do a set of 15, but if you're new, you could do 8, you could do 6. Also, do not worry about how much this is opening. You wanna think, not only is my outer glute opening my leg, but my inner thigh is assisting to push it open and then pull it closed. Push it open, pull it closed. And if I do a couple more than 15, sorry, I'm more focused on cueing y'all than I am counting. So now I'm gonna leave my external rotation. And again, you can rest if you need to because it is hard. I'm keeping my pelvis totally still. I'm gonna lift my leg up and then tap the foot back together. So it's like a hip hinge. What I don't want you doing is dropping and lifting. I don't care if you're moving it this much. It does not matter. What matters is if you're connected in your stomach, you're keeping your pelvis neutral, mid-back included in neutral, so make sure you're not roostering the rib cage forward, using your exhales. A lot of times too, if you get the clicking in the hip, don't go all the way down, just go halfway lift. Halfway lift, just really slow, because you don't want momentum to drop the pelvis. That's why it's so stinking hard. So then what you're gonna do is you're gonna do a knee circle, so just kind of relax the shin and draw a circle. Now here your hips are probably gonna move a little bit more, because you're doing a range of motion, but look, I mean, it is staying relatively still here through my sideline. I'm pushing my bottom leg into the mat for support. Good. And we'll do another 5, 4, I'm doing 10 circles in each direction. 3, breathing, 2, 1, reverse it. Bring it forward. Imagine you're a pirate with a peg leg. Just completely relax knee all the way to the foot, and do it with your thigh bone in the hip socket. You will probably be on fire right about now and wishing you didn't watch this. Just kidding. 4 and 3 and 2. Count it out yourself because we know I tend to overdo it. So then I want you to just rest. A lot of times it's good if you just want to sit up. Hopefully this won't cut my head off. I'm just going to hug my knee in towards my chest and really stretch into that glute medius. That would be kind of like a great clam series. You could add some stuff into that, but that's great for beginners to start with, just articulating. Okay, so then for a little more advanced, also same side, I'm going to be in a nice straight line. Now, if you're brand new, here's your modifications. Bend the bottom leg and keep the top leg straight, or if you're straight, you can angle the leg slightly forward to help you balance. If you feel like laying on your side right here, you're gonna like roll off, then you need to slightly angle your legs. Also, you'll have your hand either pushing into the mat or some other stability, and remember, your bottom leg is to be pushed into the mat for stability. So now what we're gonna do is I'm just gonna lift and lower. And again, I'm trying to keep this very still, this part. Imagine you have a ruler right in here, right? Exhaling to lift. Just keep your kneecap very relaxed as well, because we'll tend to try to cheat through the quad by locking the knee. Don't do it. If you need to even bend your knee, do that. Don't worry about how high you're lifting it. Worry about the accuracy of a neutral, stable spine and working from the correct place. Good. Then you're gonna flex the foot forward and pull it back. Flex and pull. Flex and pull. I like to inhale here. This is also a lot of low back work because you're trying not to round the pelvis. And don't worry how high you go or how big your range of motion is. Worry about that you're using the hamstring to pull the leg forward and also flex it back. Good. 2, 1. Good. And then I love these like little toe taps. Toe, toe, toe. Now again, you can keep it super low. If you're dying, bend your knee a little bit. Don't worry about the range of motion. Make sure you're just not moving in the lower half of your body from your pelvis. Move from the hip joint. 4, 3, 2, 1, and gladly relax. Good. Very nice. So that would just be a nice little quick series to do. One thing I do like to add in as well is after that, just be back into a clam position, completely disconnect the legs, and then internal rotation, external, external, or your can-can. And just do it small. If you feel any clicking in the hip or the leg, that's a warning sign that you're doing it too big. So just like think, I'm not gonna worry about my range of motion, I'm gonna worry about my accuracy. And then you'll reverse it, which will feel very strange. So you'll then just bring it up internally, down externally. So I'm driving it from the thigh, right? Like this. Trying not to wiggle my body everywhere. 4, 3, 8 in each direction. 2, 1, and then again, come on up. Sit, and then I'm just gonna give you, a little bit, not quicker, but I'll just go through it more streamlined without so much explanation, hopefully, because I'm very detailed. Why would I not be? We gotta do it right. Okay, so here I am on the other side. Warning, second side's harder, because not only have you been working this leg, but you have to work the leg on bottom to stabilize into the mat, so it's gonna feel harder. Make sure you set up, because we also tend to set up different on one side to the other. So I'm gonna be nice and aligned with my body, elongated through my hip line, and I'm gonna clam open and close. Inhale, exhale, close. Inhale up, exhale, close. It's my inner thigh participating throughout the movement sequence the whole time, right? I wanna feel that my low belly is corseted to my low back, trying to keep my upper body relaxed, but my shoulders, stable. If you need the hand here, that's absolutely fine. I love to imagine that I'm underwater and I'm pushing and pulling the water, pushing and pulling. Good. Now you're gonna hold it open here and then hip hinge. Good. Up and down. Your modifications would be to completely relax the shin and do a smaller range of motion, or just a smaller range of motion. You can literally be so small, and it's actually like harder. You just want to really focus on moving slow. Make sure the bottom leg is still somewhat engaged into the mat. You're breathing to lift. 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Then the next one you're going to do is that circle. So just relax the shin and you're going to go into a nice circle. Imagine you're drawing a giant circle from your kneecap. So it's from the hip. Now your hips are going to move a little bit more when you get to a range of motion that's bigger because they have to. But you're just trying to really massage the thigh bone into the hip socket. This is hard, so you do not have to do 8 in each direction. Feel free if you just want to do 3 in each direction. I do not care. It is your time to work into it. Your body's going to know what's right and what's wrong. Again, if you feel clicking, you need to just make a smaller circle. Make sure you're activating right underneath your butt cheek to drag the leg back. Inner thigh is also helping to reach it up. Couple more here. Almost done with that. Apologize to it. We're going to stretch it quick before we go into that second series. So I'm going to hug my knee into my chest. Beautiful. Nice stretch here. And then I'm going to come back down to the mat. So again, you know your modifications. I'm going to be totally straight like a pencil. But you guys can either be angled or that bottom leg bent as a kickstand. Okay? Because it's all about the length in the abdomen. Right in here and here. So I'm going to just have my hand either against the mat or on my waistline, and I'm going to up and down. Do not forget about that bottom leg into the mat for stabilization. Do your little checks. Is your pelvis totally stacked? Is your kneecap relaxed on that working leg? Really on both, to be honest, but I want you to make sure you're exhaling on that lift, inhaling on that lower, and yes, grand finale of tough hip work. Don't worry about the range of motion, right? And then we're gonna go right at parallel here, and we'll flex the foot forward, pull it back. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. I love to also do this hold. And like I'm reaching back through my spine. Good. Forward, back. Using the glute and the hamstring to not only push the leg forward, but pull it back. Kneecap is relaxed. 3 and 2. One more. I'm going to stay here. I'm going to do my taps. Tap, 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 tap. And I'm just keeping parallel in the leg. I'm not doing an internal and external rotation with the foot. Remember, the foot is just chill. You want to keep it almost like just completely dead or relaxed. Good. 4, 4, 3, 3, 2, 2, 1. Last one. Rest for a second. Again. Kind of pound into that glute, rub down that IT band. Almost done, just that little can-can series. So I'm gonna be nice and long in my clam at 45-degree knee bend, lift that top leg, good. And then I'm gonna internal, external, internal, external. Just massaging the thigh bone in the socket. I know this left side's a little more tricky, so I really try to make sure I'm not going too big in a range of motion where I feel clicking. And I will if I go too big with it or if it's not originating from the correct place. So just kind of play around with the range of motion. Make sure you're not rounding the back. And then when you've done 8, then reverse it. Internal lift up, external come down. Breathing into your Pilates Lamaze, good. And 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Oh my goodness, it does burn. I do it every day, it still hurts, okay? If you feel like your hip's about to explode, I like to say, you're doing it right. Just make sure you never feel any clicking if possible, that you're like breathing. Please, please, please just rest. Keep maybe this video close to you, so just hit pause, relax it, because it is a lot of work. A lot of work, but I guarantee you, if you try this, if you're not used to doing Pilates and you try doing something like this, or if you are having a struggle with low back pain, this will get you out of it. Give it a try. The hips train up really fast, and just see if you add this into, a couple of times a week, so a week routine. See how it works for you. And please, I'm always welcome to feedback. You can always email me at stacydpilates at gmail.com. And if you found this video helpful, I always appreciate the likes, and feel free to subscribe to the page. Thanks guys, I'll have something else up for you soon. Take care.